Domestic violence is usually characterized by physical and emotional abuse.
But often there's another kind of abuse you may not be aware of, and that is financial abuse. And as investigative reporter Brian New discovered, when it comes to this financial abuse specifically, Texas law comes up short in protecting domestic violence survivors, leaving victims far too often strapped with their abuser's debt.
He threatened me, he threatened my friends.
It was the worst 11 months of her life.
I felt very alone, and like, how am I going to tell anybody that like this craziness is happening? Like, it was just such an unbelievable thing, you know?
After months in an abusive relationship, Crystal King says she finally had the courage and opportunity to leave. When she did, the physical abuse stopped. But 4 years later, she says, the financial abuse caused by her ex-boyfriend has yet to go away.
I've lived under the threat of, am I going to be sued? Is someone going to freeze my bank account? Am I going to have judgments against me? Do I have to file bankruptcy? Like, all of that for someone who's paid their bills on time for their whole life, it is extremely heavy to weigh on you.
During the time she was in the relationship, Crystal says her ex-boyfriend told her his credit was tied up in investments, so he had her buy vehicles for him.
First bike was about $2,000 to $3,000.
And not just one.
The next bike, I believe, was about $7,000.
At first, Crystal said she believed he would pay her back.
Horse trailer was about $30,000.
But as the debt racked up, all in her name,
The truck was about $11,000.
she started to question him.
The credit card debts were somewhere in the neighborhood of like $60,000 to $70,000.
But those questions were met with threats.
It was just a progressive scale of, you know, if you don't do this, I'll hurt myself. If you don't do this, I'll hurt you. It was a whole game.
Crystal says she entered the relationship debt-free. By the time she left, she owed more than $100,000, had taken out all $70,000 from her 401k, and was down to her final pennies.
When I say 30 cents, it is not an exaggeration. It was literally the change in my car, in my floorboards, like nothing.
Crystal says what made it all the more painful was when she told her story to police.
I'm opening up to you and telling you, look, this horrific thing transpired, and I really need your help, or I need to know where to go to get that help. And everybody just says, sorry, we can't do anything for you.
In the latest report from the National Domestic Violence Hotline, in 2019, 30% of domestic violence victims from Texas reported experiencing financial abuse. The most common form is what's known as coerced debt. This is debt incurred by an abuser in the name of the victim, taken out using force, threat, or fraud.
By inserting effective consent into the Texas Penal Code.
In 2019, Texas lawmakers passed a bill that expanded the definition of identity theft to include coerced debt. The law was supposed to protect domestic violence victims, but often it hasn't.
One of the problems that we continue to see is that even when people take all the steps that they should take, that sometimes debt collectors will not recognize those remedies. And
Ann Badur is the director of financial services for the nonprofit organization Texas Appleseed. Badur is working with Texas lawmakers on a new bill that would create a list of documents a victim could provide a debt collector to clearly establish the money owed as coerced debt.
The hope is that having these protections creates an opening for people to put that abuse behind them and to move forward.
But even a new law won't help everyone.
Those will not help people like me.
Crystal's debt occurred before Texas passed the 2019 bill adding coerced debt to the criminal code, meaning she and others with older debts are left with little recourse.
Unfortunately, there's, countless people out there probably who have been through something very similar and have chalked it up to, sorry, we can't help you because there are no proper laws or protocols in place.
Now, along with Texas Appleseed, a group of attorneys and financial professionals have come together to create an online toolkit for victims of coerced debt. This toolkit includes a list of steps you can take to address this kind of debt. Doug, we've posted this entire toolkit on our website, cbsdfw.com.
You see something like that, your emotions want to take you in one direction, right? It's the law that you really got to kind of look at. What about Crystal's boyfriend? Do we know anything as far as what happened with that guy?
Well, that's a question several people are trying to figure out. We were unable to reach him or locate him, We did, however, talk with another woman who told us a similar story to Crystal's. Each told us they dated a man named David Norton and that he allegedly abused them both physically and financially. Norton has active felony warrants in Colorado and Kaufman County for domestic violence charges and for jumping bail. Doug, when Crystal shared her story on Facebook, she said several other women also reached out to her in messages saying that they too were a victim of this man.
And it's kind of the power of sharing those messages.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we see resolution with things like this. So let's cross our fingers, Brian.
Seriously, we're thankful Crystal's okay. Thanks, Brian, for that story.